So WBC President Marcelo Suleiman has said that he has no problem making Dillian Whyte versus Luis Ortiz for a final eliminator to face Deontay Wilder. So the winner of Dillian Whyte versus Ortiz will be in line to face for Deontay Wilder's title or Tyson Fury's title. Because we don't know if Tyson Fury beats Deontay Wilder, then he's the new champion, right? But basically in line to face for the WBC championship of the world. So, again, I think that's a good thing for both of these guys because that puts them in line to fight for the title. Whether it's Whyte, whether it's Ortiz. Again, I admit that I think Whyte shouldn't have to fight for another title eliminator because this would be like his another title eliminator. Whyte's always in a title eliminator to face for Deontay Wilder's belt. But I still think this is a great fight. I really like this fight, Ortiz versus Whyte. I think this is a great fight. I think it's a great style matchup. So I wouldn't mind, just as a boxing fan. I'm not even talking about like as Whyte should not be facing Luis Ortiz because he's already earned his right as a, when it came to the title eliminations to fight somebody like Wilder. But just I'm talking about as a boxing fan, as like a boxing fan myself, I would love to see Dillian Whyte versus Luis Ortiz. I would rather see that than fucking Dillian Whyte versus Derek Chisora. I mean, I already saw Dillian Whyte versus Derek Chisora. I know what's going to happen in that fight. There's going to be a back and forth fight, and then Derek Chisora is going to gas out in the second half of the fight, and then Dillian Whyte's going to win the remaining of the rounds, and he's going to win the fight via decision. 100%. I already know what's going to happen. That's why I want to see Ortiz versus Dillian Whyte because it's a different style matchup. And I think it's a very dangerous style matchup for the both of these guys. It's just a very fascinating fight. So this should be as motivation for Dillian Whyte and Luis Ortiz thinking to themselves, okay, if I beat this guy, I will then face Deontay Wilder. But of course, the thing is, right now, Dillian Whyte kind of has options because Eddie Hearn is also telling him that he's going to be the most likely to face Anthony Joshua in a rematch next April. So maybe Dillian Whyte's thinking to himself, this is why I think he might duck Luis Ortiz. Maybe Dillian Whyte's thinking to himself, wait a minute. If I fight Luis Ortiz and if I lose against him, then I'm going to fuck up my fight with Anthony Joshua. Then I can't, right? He's going to be like, I can't fight Anthony Joshua. I can't fight Anthony Joshua because I just lost to Luis Ortiz. So Eddie Hearn won't give me the fight with Anthony Joshua. That's a big payday. So maybe he might look at the Luis Ortiz fight as a risky fight for him. And in the same token, he might be looking at that as, even if I fight Luis Ortiz, maybe the WBC still doesn't give me a shot at the WBC championship of the world, whether it's Deontay Wilder, whether it's Tyson Fury. Maybe these thoughts are going through Dillian Whyte's mind, but still, you can't say that Luis Ortiz is ducking him. You can't say that he's not, because Dillian Whyte always says that these guys are avoiding him. You can't, because of this, because of that. You can't say this time that Luis Ortiz is avoiding him because he's accepted to face him. Okay, he's already accepted it. So now, if the fight doesn't get made, it was most likely because Dillian Whyte decided no. He decided not to go through with the fight, and he decided to go the Derek Chisora route. But let's be real. Would you guys rather see him face Derek Chisora or Luis Ortiz? I'd rather see Luis Ortiz because, again, I already saw Derek Chisora. I want to see that. Like I said, maybe he's thinking if I face Luis Ortiz and if I lose, I won't get the big money payday against Anthony Joshua. I don't know. Maybe he's thinking these things. But anyway, guys, so I have to say WBC approves on making a title eliminator for Ortiz versus Whyte.